All right, well, welcome back to the iWealth podcast, and we're here today with Mr. Brad Connors. Brad, markets don't go up for forever, and at some point they hit that tipping point, and then it happens. And all of a sudden you start getting these phone calls. How in the world do you deal with that? Like, this got to be really, really hard. All of a sudden there's somebody on the phone or in person, and they're like, I want out, I want to be done. How do you handle it?
Yeah, and by the way, it happens. You're not making it up. It happens. And we know that the market goes up and down, and we're in one of these up slopes
up
at this point, but it'll go down at some point. I always tell my team, Matt, that we make our money in the bad markets.
Okay.
When we're holding clients' hands, answering those questions, whether it's knee to knee or whether it's over the phone or whatever it is, to be able to handle that. And my number one response is what's changed.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so let's say you call and say, listen, Brad, my account's down, $40,000. What's going on? And my question is, what's changed? And of course, they're like, well, the market went down. But I always lead them back to their life. Like, what's changed in your life? Like, are you still employed? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Are you healthy? Yeah. How are your kids doing? And we always get back to our roots, right? On what's really going on internally with us, because a lot of times what's changed is they're watching too much news, right? That it's just driving them crazy. Like there's red arrows on the screen and things are going down. Like you walk into my office and CNBC is not on. I don't have anything against them. I don't watch that stuff every day. And I have friends of mine like, hey, the market's up today. I'm like, I don't know, because I just don't pay attention. But I also understand that news has the attention of my clients. And sometimes when things are bad, they even get worse in our own mind. And so I think what I try to do, and I'm not taught this, I didn't go to school for it, it's just something that has worked for me, is to try to get that client back around their own life situation and what's changed. And sometimes it's like, I've lost my job. Let's talk about that. Yeah. And you're going to get through this. But your account's for 20 years from now, it's down $40,000. Yeah. But what's changed other than it's down on paper, right? And so trying to get people's heads spun around about it's not the end of the world. This thing will be fine. If they need the money tomorrow and it's down $40,000, we've got a problem. But that's our problem because we haven't set it up correctly for them and put it in the right risk based upon when they need those funds, right? We haven't did our job. But I always say holding people's hands and helping them through those times, that's where we get paid, because it's easy to look good when the market goes up. And I have people compliment me like, boy, my account statement looks great. And I always deflect, like, if I'm going to own it on the way up, then I'm owning it on the way down too, right? Yeah. And so I just try to deflect and say, well, it's not us, it's the market type thing. But I think that's the value of working with somebody, to be able to have that conversation, to just let it out and say, this is horrible and everything's going to go to zero and what's going on, to be able to bring them back up off of that place that they are,
It's almost a little hack to it, or a little life hack would be, if you're feeling like, I need to make a major change here, or I lost my job, or all of a sudden I had a parent or a spouse, or if there's major change that's happening in your world, ask the question for yourself right now at this moment, what's changed? And if you need even a little more help, then having somebody like you come in and ask that same question can be very, very helpful.
Yeah, because a lot of times our minds get ahead of us, right? Our minds get out there and start to, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. I mean, go back to your teenage kids and, how all of a sudden someone sent them a bad text and the whole day is ruined. It's not that big a deal, but it is in their life, and it truly is. So I don't negate that fact. That person that calls, it's real, okay? My job is to help figure out what's really real, though. I mean, is your account going down that you don't need for 20 years from now? Is it really relevant today for you not to sleep tonight?
Yeah.
So I think kind of getting through that whole process of it, it's real on their end, it's real for me, but just trying to get them grounded back in.
Yeah, and put it back in perspective.
What's going on.
And a great way to do that is ask the question, what's changed?
Matt, along this lines, I have people like, I want to get in your business, Brad. Should I be like studying stocks all day long and that kind of thing? And that's really important. But learning how to have empathy for people, learning how to ask the right questions. I mean, I talk to people, I go to Mankato State and talk to their finance club every year. Yeah. I talk to them all the time, like, psychology is really important. You know, understanding how to have empathy is really important. How to talk to people. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you can't get on the same level and have that conversation, it's not going to work. And I think that's part of it. I think it's really just trying to turn off the news. And I've said that several times, whether it's turn off CNN or turn off Fox, but like turn it off and just listen to music or something, or stay away from the newspapers for a while. Because you just got to get back to, how's this really affecting me? What's changed?
Yeah, what's changed between today and yesterday, and that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
I love it. Very cool. Well, thank you so much, and I definitely learned something. And for you guys at home, if you're feeling a little freaked out, ask the question, what's changed? If you want a little help, we got an expert here. He'll ask you that same question and maybe put it all back in perspective.
Yeah,
so
you bet.
We'll see you back here next time.
Thank you.